Hello friends, today's date is March 5th, 2024. Welcome to today's current events discussion. Let's move on to our first article. Our first article is related to the news about National Science Day. Why is National Science Day celebrated on February 28th every year? Why is it celebrated? C.V. Raman discovered the Raman effect on February 28, 1928. Therefore, we celebrate National Science Day every year on February 28th. Now let's first talk about C.V. Raman. C.V. Raman was born on November 7, 1888 in Tamil Nadu. Speaking of his contributions, he discovered the Raman effect in 1928. We will explore the Raman effect in more detail later on. First, let's talk about his contributions. Firstly, he discovered the Raman effect in 1928. He also studied crystal dynamics in 1948. Additionally, he studied the spin of photons. He conducted this study in 1932. The study of photon spin helped us understand how light behaves. It helps us understand the spin of photons and their behavior. He also studied X-ray infrared vibration. In addition to this, he also proposed the Ramana theory. What is the Ramana theory? Ramana's theory also aids in understanding web interaction and crystal data. Hence, his contributions were significant. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1930 in physics for his discovery of the Raman effect, a significant contribution for which he received the Nobel Prize in 1930 in physics, and in 1954 he was also honored in India. Alright, so now let's discuss the effect. First, imagine white light passing through a prism, which generates 7 colors known as Vibgyor: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. The reflection is highest for red and decreases as you move down the spectrum. Normally, what occurs when light passes through a molecule like this one? After the collision, when it moves forward, its wavelength and energy will remain the same. We are discussing the first situation under normal conditions before the introduction of the Raman effect. What did people believe previously? They believed that there is a molecule and some light will collide with it. Once it moves forward, it's the same light before and after the collision. The previous E1 and the post-collision E2 will always be equal. If it collides with any molecule and moves forward, neither of them will change. Here its speed, energy and wavelength will either increase or decrease. If it collides here and moves forward, it will either decrease or increase. This is referred to as Raman scatterings. What was the first one called? In normal conditions, it was called Rayleigh scattering. However, the change that occurs is called Raman scattering, meaning under normal conditions, its light will remain the same. Even the E2 will remain the same, indicating before the collision.
Meaning the first condition and second condition will remain the same. But they said that after this collision, it is not necessary that it remains the same. Sometimes changes also come. Then it is called the Raman effect. But now what is its benefit? Meaning this is a normal thing. If the change of collision also comes, then what is the benefit? What happens from it? Any medicine, what kind of chemicals are in it? You can study it, helps in doing chemical analysis. Medical, if you get help in doing medical instrument or analysis, then the benefits were very high. That is why they also got the Nobel Prize. Okay, sir, you have understood. Let's move towards our next article. Our next article is about the next island. look at the news related to the next island. It will be the most important for us. Why not in the news? Some of our airstrips which are being made by Prime Minister Modi ji are being launched here. This is our news. It will not be so important for us. If you see the location about it, then first of all it is a map of Africa. Look, there's Africa here. Okay, there's Madagascar here. Look at this, Madagascar. Here it is, below Mauritius and above Mauritius. That is Agalag Island. Agalag Island, it is part of Mauritius. Okay, above Agalgandan or Madagascar. You should remember this location. Now, this news was that here Modi ji has an airstrip. He is developing what benefit? This will be a maritime security. It will be strengthened. Our Saga project. The ocean means that the surrounding region will be strengthened. There is security there. If you want to boost it, then it will also help because China is covering the whole of India through the policy of string of pulses. Trying to do China's, which is of string of pulse. The policy of no string of pulse can also be balanced with this. So the projects that are there become important for us. That this is the island country. Their location is a strategic location for us. It becomes important if there is India's presence there. Then in the future, if you can help them, this article was related to the next island, the location for it. If it can be useful to you in the prelims, then definitely remember the location. Let's move towards our next article, which is Belgium's echo right now. SAIS declared a crime related to why the news is in the news. Belgium has just declared it an ecocide, so look at it. First of all, what is ecocide? Understand the term ecocide. What happens to sides? What is suicide? Then what is side means side. Causing harm to the eco means environment, then intentionally side means intentional to the environment. If you do any work, then it is called side. So intentionally, if you are destroying the system environment, if you want to harm it, then it's called the ecocide. Belgium just brought the rule in Belgium that if you are deliberately destroying the environment, you are damaging the environment, you are destroying the environment. If you are doing harm, then you will be a crime. Under this crime, there can also be a punishment of 10 years. You have a very big fine. If you can go, then see if this is not in UPSC, then you are yours in mains. You can use the example and the location of Belgium is important in the pred. The rest. This ecocide term may be important for us. The rest of the article is just in it. This is the country that has just launched the ecocide by Belgium. Is Belgium the first country to launch? It is Ecuador, it is Vietnam, it is ecocide, it has been launched. Means like this. Belgium is the first country in the European Union to have declared a crime. Ecocide has been declared a crime. Okay, which country did Belgium? What else can become a question and this can become ecocide? What happens is intentionally damaging the environment. This is the ecocide. Okay, that's all. Remember this much. You can use its example in main. Let's go to our next article. And our next article is about the African Union Summit. Why is the African Club in the news holding the 37th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa? Where is the capital of Ethiopia? What is in the news organized there? This is the African Club in the news. It has the 37th African Union Summit. Ababa was held in Ethiopia, so let's see about it in the news. Now, first of all, let's see what this African Club is all about. What is an African Club? Is an African Club a financial instinct today, Matt? World Bank is there. There is a financial institute, and like we are in India. Asia is the Bank of Asia. We have ASEAN Infrastructure Bank, and India has also joined different banks. Okay, so this is the African Club. That is all the ones in Africa. There will be different banks which will be financial institutions. They will bring them together and their alliances. It will work in collaboration with all the financial institutions. This African Club will work as an alliance. What will help it get? Africa will provide whatever financial help it needs, as well as I have multinationals. Multinationals like World Bank, IMF is also with their help. It will work to help in Africa because you all know that Africa, it has played a very small role in the world's environmental pollution. So they need grants and so on. So this African Club is the IMF. Will take grants from the World Bank, etc. and use them in the development of Africa. If possible, it'll work like a multi-financial bank, as we've already seen in the African Club. Let's now take a look at the African Union. The African Union is a continental body, much like our SARC. It's essentially a type of continental union. When was it founded? It was established in 2002. What is its purpose? It endeavors for African unity. It has 55 members, all being a part of it. Its main focus is to promote cooperation, to foster mutual cooperation. And it's just been in the news because it has also become a member of the G. We've looked at this article about the African Union, so let's proceed to our next article. The next article is about our 10,000 Genome Project. Why is the 10,000 Genome Project in the news? The Department of Biotechnology, DBT, has officially announced the news of the 10,000 Genome Project. He has just finished the 10,000 Genome Project, has completed it, and announced that we have finished the 10,000 Genome Project. The 10,000 Genome Project has been completed, alright? Now let's take a look. What exactly is this 10,000 Genome Project? See what happens through this project? Everyone's coding is different, like there are different gene sequences, ATC has different sequences. So if you know someone's gene sequence, then you can find out unique sequencing. Then if you know this gene sequence, you can know about the human body, you can learn about gene sequencing, you can know what types of genes are there, what defects are there in each of them. Different countries are trying to create a database in which data of gene sequences is stored. Now, the Department of Biotechnology has prepared a genome database through a project which consists of the genome data of 99 ethnic groups, where their genome database has been stored and their sequencing information is available. Which type of gene does it has? What is it sequencing? Before this, 3 countries, US, China and the UK, have completed the 10,000 Genome Project. India is now 4th country to complete the 10,000 Genome Project after USA, UK and China. If the Genome Project has been completed, then India has become the 4th country. What would be the benefit of this? This will reveal genome sequencing. If there is any disease related to the genome, it can be cured. Now, who completed it? This was started by the Department of Biotechnology and has been completed. In this, the sequencing of the genome will be prepared and the gene will be identified. What is M? M is the same. 10000 genomes have been identified, their sequence will be prepared, and any problem related to the gene is tried to be solved through this genome project. And any problems in our body can be helped through the gene code. Everyone has a different body, there is a different gene sequence. This happens through ATCG. If it happens through it, then it can be tried to solve. So it was related to the genome project. Today there were some special articles so important, otherwise this much in today's discussion. Now a few questions. Let's see the question which was yesterday's true and false. The first question in that is related to India House. This is false. Then it is the second statement. The second one is true and the third is false. You see this in homework. If you want PDF, then you will get it from Telegram channel Hindi in English both. Thank you. Thank you very much for discussion.